Hi, I'm Nan Frydland and I'm from New York. And I came to this conference because I'm an adult learner and I wanted to share my experience with transformative learning. I went back to school at the age of 48, and because I come from a very working class family, 300 years of semi-literacy, I was the first person in my family to graduate high school. Between the ages of 48 and 60, I earned 3 college degrees. What I learned from transformative learning was, in my own life, I was transformed through the help of my mentor. I developed a sense of agency. Where I had no power, now I have a lot of power. She helped me to find my own strengths and my interests, and today I bring transformative learning to my classrooms. I teach at the International Rescue Committee on West 38th Street, and I'm basically teaching newcomer immigrants and refugees. For the last 2 years, most of my students have been from West African countries, and so I've learned about their countries as they learn about the United States. More importantly than teaching them English, I teach them how to navigate this culture. And even more importantly, I teach them that their cultures are just as important as American culture. And so I've learned a little Wolof. I can say Nakasubasi, Nengadef. I can go all over the world and feel comfortable speaking to people with different backgrounds, different colored skins, and very different cultural beliefs and priorities and attitudes. I identify a little with Jack Mesereau's wife. And Jack, of course, developed this whole learning theory based on his wife, Edie, who went back to school when she was midlife, like me. There are a lot of things that you can learn as an adult learner. You're not constrained by some of the things that you might be constrained by when you're young. And also, in order to get to the place where I could be a serious student, I found the transformative program of Alcoholics Anonymous, and I worked the 12 steps for many years. In addition to that, I learned about transformation from Landmark Forum, formerly known as EST. And so through that program, and also through the community, which was a learning and supportive community, I came to find things in myself that I didn't know about until others reflected back to me who I was and who I wanted to be. So I got to share my experience today with some very wonderful people, and I feel very supported in this community. Even if I'm like the plebe among giants and incredible educators, I felt very welcome, and I was very grateful to share my story. And my husband just retired, and he became an immigration attorney and has been working for free in Georgia and Louisiana to liberate prisoners who have been detained by our government. And he successfully freed one person who is Nigerian because of the practices that our current administration have enforced. And so together in our company, we provide educational and legal services to the people who most need them. Both of us, having come from really poor backgrounds, has given us a way to understand others who are similarly situated, who have no sense of agency and nowhere to turn, who have no sense of cultural capital in order to guide their way. So both of us spent many, many years, kind of spinning our wheels. And when we met each other, we were both kind of like at the end of our rope. And we feel that it's been a very spiritual blessing to meet each other and find our life work together and bring purpose and value to our lives. I went to many schools, many colleges where I dropped out for various reasons, but I didn't feel like very comfortable there. I didn't feel supported. I felt there were some people who were very important to me, but I couldn't make it in the school. Finally, I went to a school where I'd met a professor who was running a program to teach educators how to address the needs of immigrants and refugees, especially adults who have low literacy skills. And when I went to her program, I felt like I had had so much experience doing this on my own, working at community centers. I was a self-taught teacher. I could teach undocumented Guatemalan day laborers, just different groups of people. And I thought she'd be very impressed with me. And so the first time she came to observe me teaching, I was very happy, and she said, "I can't believe what you've done. It's terrible. You were just a sage on the stage. You didn't do any of the things you told me about. You weren't relating to people. You weren't letting them share their stories." And I was really, really humiliated. But she said to me, "These are the mistakes that you make when you're in college, even now in graduate school. And I really love mentoring even more than teaching, and I'm going to be your mentor." And so for the next few years, she helped me develop my own way of teaching through using big pieces of paper on the board and inviting students to write in their own language and share their own cultures. And through her loving support, I not only became a teacher, but I became a better human being. And she transformed all of my ways of thinking about what I was doing. She helped me develop my papers and my presentation skills so that now I present all over the world. I have so much fun sharing my experience and my teaching methodology. But Helene Marshall and John Fanslow is very well known at the school. He introduced me to Helene Marshall. So those two people who were professors here, they are the ones who passed on their great humanity and their teaching skills to help me transform my life and transform my teaching. I was very excited to be among some giants here, being able to shake hands with John Dirks, for instance, who had written several letters to my co-authors for an article we submitted. I was so grateful to him to publish that article, to allow me some little entrance into this incredible field, and to talk to other educators here about very different aspects of transformative learning. I bring transformative learning to teaching English to speakers of other languages, but most of the people here are involved in very different aspects of transformative learning. And so I got to learn a lot of different aspects of TL that I hadn't been exposed to. And also to hear some very loving support for the work that I'm doing, even though you know, I'm a plebe among giants here. So I'm grateful for the support. I'm grateful that my knowledge has been expanded. And also, unlike other conferences, there were so many elements of creativity. You could sing and dance and draw your hand. And we don't get to do these at most conferences. We just sit and listen. So it's been a really exceptional experience. I hope to go to another one. And it was more than I expected.